welcome to Old Faithful, where I don't clap at the beginning of the video. I'm your host, Matt Trask.
I'll clap for you.
Oh, thank you very much. My thanks to Haggerty's Music Works. My thanks to Johnny Hastings here on the hill under the Big Red Stratocaster here in Rapid City, South Dakota. Please like, share, and support their YouTube channel, Haggerty's Music Works. Please see them for all of your musical. Among other things, we have a brand new stand holding up a guitar. They sell stands, picks, cables, the whole 9 yards.
How much that cost?
I'm not sure. If you have to ask, Please support my friends at Black Hills Blend Espresso for convenient locations here in Rapid City. And please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Matthew Trask. It took way too long.
I just subscribed.
Thank you very much, sir.
I didn't even know it existed.
Well, now you do. It took way too long to get you on the show. Everyone, Mr. Scott Bellew, one of my favorite performers here in the Black Hills.
But it took him 100 people to get me on. It's okay.
We will talk more about that.
We're not counting.
We're not counting. Nobody's counting, huh? No. So go ahead and tell us about you. First
About me.
Yeah.
Where it all began.
Yes.
Well, I'm born a poor little white boy. No, I'm sorry. So I'm a military brat.
Okay.
And my dad got stationed at Ellsworth way back when. They were traveling. My brother was born in Morocco.
Really?
And they picked all these places in the U.S. to move back to, and South Dakota was not one of them.
Oh, sure.
And my mom says she looked where it was on the map, and she cried. And they moved
I have
here.
heard this story before.
Yep. She moved here. They moved here, and they stayed. And so yeah, I'm a military brat son. And my dad, I was probably 3 years old when he retired. So,
okay.
And then he was a pilot.
Oh.
And we had an aviation business, for those of you that remember B&L Aviation from 25 years ago. But we had lots of planes and flew, and other things happened, and it's all gone now.
Okay.
My parents are gone. But so I started playing probably about 4th grade. My first guitar was not my guitar, it was my sister's guitar.
Okay.
And one sister was a cheerleader, and the other sister wasn't, and my mom thought, I'll get her a guitar. So we had a Tisco Del Rey that had a whammy bar that went out of tune all the time, but she didn't play. And
right.
I started messing with it in 4th grade, and just kept asking for lessons and such. I think in 7th grade I finally started taking lessons at Schneider Music, which is long gone.
Right.
But it was here then. So yeah, I started playing about 4th grade.
On a Tisco.
Yep,
and that
Tisco
is,
Del Rey. Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, an electric guitar.
Yes, it was electric.
Did you have an amplifier?
They ordered out of a Sears Blue Book, I think, or Montgomery Ward's or something that way. There was an amp. It was called a Checkmate, I think.
Wow! Really?
Do you know that name?
I do.
Wow. See, I don't know. See, that's why I'm scared to come on the show, because he knows technology.
You're fine.
He knows equipment.
We want to know why you picked this guitar.
In the end.
And if it's because it was the one on the wall, that's a valid answer.
No, it is not.
Okay. So the Tisco and the Checkmate, sometimes called Tesco. And I forget at the moment, after he lauded me for being an expert, which sometimes I pretend to be.
Tesco Del Rey, but I could be wrong.
No, I'm sure you're right. That was a model. I forget where they're made, but they're rather prized collectibles now.
They are now.
Yeah.
I wish it's the only guitar I ever sold that
I
wouldn't have.
Do you remember who you sold it to?
Schneider Music.
Music.
Put it on the wall for $35 or something, and they took it, and they probably but it didn't play well, but it was still my first guitar was in 7th grade at Christmas. I got a Martin Sigma, and I don't know that they make Sigmas anymore, that brand, but it was
I'm not sure either.
It's not one piece of wood, it was cross laminated. Yeah. But it went through a fire, and it sounded much better after the fire because it heated and melted a little bit. Anyway.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my first guitar in 7th grade. My mom bought it for Christmas. I thought it was a sled. She had it in a huge box, and I swore it was a sled. And I still remember it because it was the most shocking gift I'd ever got for a Christmas present ever. That was just like,
wow.
And I still have that guitar.
So I've talked before on the show about the joy and the anticipation of seeing a triangular box under the tree and going, ooh, I wonder what it is. Your mom tricked you.
She was smart. She tricked me.
She put it in a square box.
She did.
Well done.
She was well done. Great going, Mom.
So did that come with a case?
Yes, it did.
It did. Yeah.
And but it was so big. I just swore it was a sled, and she didn't say anything about the guitar. So I don't know where she bought it. Probably at Schneider Music.
Probably Schneider Music.
Yeah. I see it now. I watched like 3 of his shows. I know his format. So
Right.
you want to know what my first amp is now, right? Because that wasn't it. That wasn't my amp.
Well, no, but a Martin Sigma by Martin, you probably wouldn't have needed it.
Nope, I wouldn't. But I still had the T-Sco at that time.
Okay.
So I wanted an amp. So
did you still have the Checkmate?
I sold it also. That's the I just sold an amp. So yeah, I sold an amp in my life.
Okay, all right. Which wasn't yours?
No.
Wow.
But my sister didn't care by that time. She was probably high school at that time.
So, Scott Bellew, what was your first amp?
My first amp was a Lab Series bass amp.
No way.
I did not know it was a bass amp. And I'm trying to think. It was at Stevenson Music, used to be a music store. And the guy you talk, there was a guy there who said, "Oh, you must be a bass player. That's awesome." And I just sunk because I didn't know it was a bass amp. I was 12 years old.
Oh, sure.
And so I played it for a few years as a guitar player on a bass amp. But who worked at Haggerty's for a long time, and you've interviewed him?
Bruce?
No.
No?
Go to another name, and
I haven't had Dave Kramer on the show yet.
Kramer. Dave Kramer.
He has not been on the show yet.
Dave, you worked at Stevenson Music, or you were there for the auction because it was being closed down.
Okay.
And it was the only amp there. So Dave said, "Oh, I'm glad to see more bass players around." And I was like, "Bass player?"
Dave, you're welcome on the show.
Dave, come on the show.
Yes.
Dave's a great musician.
He is.
Great bass player and guitar player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So before we go on, there is a long history of guitar players playing through bass amps. It's not uncommon.
No. The Fender Basement. A lot of blues guys love the Fender Basement.
The Basement amplifier was marketed as a bass amp, and guitarists realized this is a wonderful amp.
Oh, it is. Yeah, had great low end.
Yeah. But second of all, you have mentioned a brand name that is near and dear to my heart, and I would love to have a Lab Series amplifier on the show. Was it an L6?
Oh, it was older than that, I think. I mean, it was old. I mean, we're talking 70s.
Right.
So
it was a Gibson product during the Norland era.
See, he knows this stuff.
Designed by Bob Moog. I know all about and played by, among others, B.B. King. Loved him.
Yeah.
And country musician Ray Fox. I am getting way too wonky over here.
I'm amazed you know that. That's
by the way, if anyone in the Black Hills or anywhere has a Lab Series amplifier, I would love to have one on the show because I have never actually seen one in person.
No.
I would love. So back to you. So we have a Martin.
Yep.
And we have a Lab Series amplifier.
And the Tisco Del Rey.
We're still playing the Tisco Del Rey through it?
When I sold that, I bought I had a teacher named Vern Duran.
Okay.
And he had a SG Junior. And I played the SG Junior, and I thought I was more rock and roll than the pickup, so I put a DiMarzio Super 2 in it. And ruined it. I ruined it. But the thing about the SGs were that they were so neck heavy.
Right.
The old ones with the Juniors that you would let go and it would just drop.
Sure.
And so it wasn't like the nice SGs that they.
Sure. So was that a one pickup model?
No, it had 2 pickups.
It had 2 pickups.
Yes.
And you only bastardized the one.
Bastardized the front one. I still have it.
Oh, you
it's
do?
Still in my basement, bastardized.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So did it come originally equipped with P90 pickups or how?
Yes. They were P90s, I believe. Yeah.
So did you have to route to put the DiMarzio in?
I paid someone else to do it.
Okay, all right. So we sent it away in new pickups.
My mom paid for someone else to do it.
Your mom was a saint.
My mom was. She bought me. And I never paid her back. She bought me my first real amp, which was a Mesa Boogie.
Wow.
And we were talking about this guitar that I've had since probably ninth grade. I loved Santana, and I loved his sound.
Okay.
Les Paul and the Mesa Boogie. So I've had that Simon Class 3. I still have it.
Uh-huh.
And I've had that since high school and made it through many bars and such. And we used to call it the weight because it was so heavy.
Awesome.
Very heavy amp.
Cool. So back to so we have an SG Junior
Yep.
and a Lab Series amplifier.
He's paying attention.
Are we in a band at this point?
Yes.
We're in high school, probably.
I started a band in junior high.
Okay.
We played many battle of the bands that we never won. I've never won a battle of the bands.
Participation trophies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in high school, I played with some other guys in high school in a band I think called Pitcher. And then because we got mad and we argued, didn't know a name and no one wanted to agree. And the guy says, "Why don't we just call it Pitcher?" Fine. And we all walked away. I guess it was their name. So still run into some of those guys once in a while. After that, I was playing. Remember 3-2 beer bar days?
No, I don't. I've heard of them.
So bars were you could be 18 and go into bars
Have
at
a
that time.
3-2 beer.
And 3-2 beer, low point beer. And so I was underage and playing these bars with older guys.
Okay.
And only one of them ever asked, "How old are you?" And I'm 17. Made me go in the kitchen on breaks.
Oh.
But the rest of them didn't care, so there were just lots of clubs to play back then.
Okay,
a lot more
sure.
than there are now. There was circuits. You could actually go very short distance and play in another bar for a few nights
Sure.
rather than traveling 300 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a good time and you made a little money.
Little money.
Yeah, just enough to get the bug. Did we? How many pieces were these bands?
Probably 4-piece.
4-piece band, rock and roll covers,
Rock and
probably.
roll cover bands.
Yeah.
Always threw in originals here and there. But
Who would write the original?
me and the other guitar player wrote some. I was just, yeah, you look hot.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're hot, people.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were mainly covers like everyone else.
Okay,
does,
sure.
The originals till the people glassed over and then
Right.
played something they knew again.
What was your first sound system, or did you have one?
You know, everyone else always had the PAs. Which,
Sure.
by the way, if you're not playing and you want to be in a band, buy a PA, and then you can be in a band.
That's how Ozzy got his start. Yeah.
So I don't remember actually
Okay.
a lot of PA stuff. The best PA I've ever owned was the Bose that I have now.
Oh,
Just the
sure.
Stick Bose. It goes behind you, doesn't feed back, and
Right.
you hear what they hear, and yeah,
It all works out pretty
it
good.
works out pretty good.
Well, we have 3 guitars here. We probably should start talking guitars.
Okay.
Why don't we start with the Telly?
So the story behind getting this, and this is an American-made Telly,
I will go ahead and pick
and
it up.
I saw it in a pawn shop. I wanted it. And my wife says, "You already have many guitars. So
Right.
You really don't need another guitar."
Wives will
but-
say that on occasion.
But it's a Telly,
Right.
And
That's the answer.
so I didn't get it. She talked me out of it.
Okay.
And then she said, you might want to go get, I'll let you go get that. So I went down with my daughter
Oh.
to get the Telly, and it was gone.
Oh. Sad tale of woe.
And then,
Yes.
lo and behold, a couple months later at Christmas, there it was under the tree.
Oh.
So my wife bought it.
Oh.
It made me think it was just gone. That's how
I
mean
see.
she is.
That's a pretty good story, actually.
It is a great
I like
story.
that.
So yeah, she bought that for me about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And so yeah, I still have it. I like it. What didn't you like about it? There was
Well,
something you weren't.
It wasn't that I didn't like it. To be truly legit, you need to break this off within the first 6 months of ownership.
Oh.
This plastic switch tip should be broken off. That's kind of a Telly joke. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a nice Telly, and you like it?
I do.
Yeah. And do you use it for recording or playing
Yes.
with your...
Yeah, we've used it for recording and playing.
I will put it back.
It's light enough that you play it all night long.
Sure.
Les Paul's a little bit more like a brick.
Right. Which, thank you for bringing that up, because we're
Segue.
about to talk about this. I have known Scott Bellew for a long time. I have been bothering him to be on the show. I had no idea that he owned this. We could talk about this for hours. We're going to have to condense it. Tell us the history of this guitar.
The history of this guitar. I was 16 years old, and it was in a pawn shop. And it, when I bought it, it had a stereo out on it. I don't know why they did that, and some really crappy speakers. I'm sorry, crappy pickups. So those are DiMarzio 2s.
Okay.
If I remember right. And I ended up getting a new tailpiece for it, and I see all these guitars on here that people show that are really nice and in good shape. This sucker's beat to shit. Can I say shit? I'm sorry. This sucker's beat to poop, and then Johnny can re-edit that.
This guitar right here don't have to hang its head to nobody. Number one, we believe it's a 71.
Yep.
Gibson Les Paul. It's a pancake body. I don't know if you can see. It's 2 pieces of mahogany with a piece of maple sandwiched in between. And a maple top. It's a gold top, which is cool. It's got a replaced brass nut.
Yep.
Replaced tuners. It's had a headstock brake. We're going down the list of things.
It's had 4 headstock
It's had
brakes.
4.
Four
The
headstock
list
brakes.
of things that should have happened to a Les Paul in its
Yeah.
lifetime. I have never seen a Les Paul, and I ain't been around, but with a harmonica tailpiece.
Really?
I'd never seen that before.
I don't remember where I got that, but some guy said, you should try one of these. And I go, okay.
It's got checkering, it's got mojo, and it's got this just beautifully hideous handmade pickguard. I love this thing. This is redneck DIY to the extreme.
It is a redneck, but it sounds so good.
I bet.
It is still a great sounding
It
guitar.
adds to the tone.
frets are a little bit worn.
One small quibble I would have. What happened to our knobs over here?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Lost in a bar.
They do. I'll give a
Lost
plug
in
for
bar.
Haggerty's. They would probably sell you a couple
Would
of
they?
knobs. Yeah.
I do that. See, I don't have a knob on this, but I do that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Because I was hitting it with my arm
Sure.
and lowering the volume. Like, why is the volume gone? So I take that one off.
Oh,
but those
sure.
are just gone. you know.
Right. And these look like they might be the originals.
Probably are.
So we might have trouble matching the tone. Which, okay, I'll give you that one. Maybe we should leave them off. I'm not sure. But we probably need to move on.
Okay.
Is there anything else we need? Oh, we need to talk about. We've talked so much about her. Tell us about this.
Oh, that was my mom's ring that I took off her hand when she died, and it was a family birthstone rings of all us kids that we gave to her
Wow.
years before, and it's been on this guitar for probably about 37, 40 years.
Wow. When you replaced the tuners,
Yeah.
you put it on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, actually, it was on before there, and then I replaced the tuners, and
And put it on.
yeah,
Again.
it's always been. Mom's
see.
always been with me.
Well, cool. All right.
Dad never liked music, by the way. Never came to my shows. Never approved of music. And when we were in the car, he was a pilot, and all we listened to was pilot weather that you guys had probably never heard in your life. And it was just a series of beeps by one-line statements about the how high the ceiling was and what the barometric pressure was at different airports.
Okay.
And we didn't dare change it over to like music. No, you didn't do that with Dad.
Well, here's an interesting diversion. First of all, in a car, listening to pilot weather seems
Yeah.
a little comical.
It does.
I have never found the pilot weather channel in my car.
It existed long before there was
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
Stuff. It's
So he was not. Just listened to
he
pilot weather.
He did, and didn't like music. He liked John Denver's West Virginia song because he was from West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
That's the only one.
Country Roads, perhaps.
Yep.
Oh, well, that's a fine
Yeah,
song.
my family were hillbillies. They really were.
So
from
he
West
was
Virginia.
human after all.
He
He liked
was.
one song.
He did.
Okay, perfect. So we better talk about this guitar.
This guitar I have had for many, many years. This is a jumbo size, like a J180, I think it is, and it's got like a 4-band EQ on it and some few different things. But it just I've had it forever and ever, and I didn't play for the last 3 years because of shoulder surgeries. I had to have both shoulders done. So
Right.
when the one got done, I tried to start playing a little bit, and then I did the other one, and I was
Sure.
out for another 9 months. But
That's part of the reason it took me so long to get him on the show,
Probably.
first of all.
so during that time, Scott Pack had always been working on it. Said, you need new frets. Like, I don't ever have time. I was gigging all the time.
Right, yeah.
I finally brought it in to say I'm not gigging for a while.
Right.
And he replaced all the frets up to the 14th.
Wow.
And and I haven't seen him since. Thanks, Scott. This is awesome guitar. If he ever watches the show.
Hey, he does watch this show.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. The lovely Scott Pack.
Very and talented.
Very
yes,
talented. Yes. I mean, yeah, it's great. I love the new frets on that.
Had it been fretting out in spots before that?
Oh yeah, it was well worn out. This because I'd been over 20 years playing this.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit dinged up and banged up, but still
nothing wrong with that.
Love this guitar.
Where did we get it?
We ordered this online after I saw a guy in Fort Collins playing one in a bar.
Oh.
Just come try it out. And I come played it a little bit. And
right.
That's what I want.
Sure.
Probably musician's friend.
Okay.
Came in. Yeah. No, it's a great old guitar.
And besides removing the volume knob so you didn't bump it, have you done anything else to it?
It's all stock.
And for years and years, you have performed as a solo acoustic act here in the Black Hills with your Bose acoustic system.
Yep.
And does a very fine job. You were also on the local program Guitar Wars, Guitar Masters.
Oh, Guitar Masters.
Excuse me. Yeah. And you did a great job at that. And you now have a band.
I have a band, yeah.
And you've had one show. You got one show.
One show, and we have. It's kind of funny because the master we've been recording for the last 3 years between shoulder surgeries and plagues and stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And it's done, and I'm 56% happy. I like to make that joke. So the master is out. I'm going to go get it when we leave here because we sent it off and paid about $1,000 to have it mastered by someone else, and hopefully they've just made it sound like diamonds.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see before and after.
Right.
So Black Hills Soul is what we're called.
Black Hills. Oh,
we got some great.
That's
songs.
the name of the band.
Black Hills
and
Soul.
And the recordings that you've sent off, how many are there?
12.
12. So it's pretty much a full album.
It's a full album.
Uh-huh.
And it was recorded in a little studio in St. Ange, South Dakota.
Wow.
So
nice. Yeah. I hardly ever get to mention St. Ange, South Dakota here on the show.
Probably never.
Yeah. That is very cool.
He told me where, he said, where do I go? He goes to the Brown House on 1st Street. You got an address? He goes, you don't need an address.
Yeah.
It's the Brown House on 1st Street.
That's like being asked, where's the Wasta Bar? You'll find it, buddy.
I've been in the Wasta Bar.
Most people have. Yeah. So your shoulder surgery has been done.
Yep.
And you're steadily recovering.
I'm recovering.
Are you going to get back to playing here in the Black Hills?
I hope to. I'm hoping just to do the band thing. We're looking for gigs right now.
All right.
We're going to start finding gigs, solo stuff. I don't have the stamina to do what I did before with 3 shows.
Right.
And I just, like I heard you saying, I hope I'm never the guitar player I ever wanted to be. I hope to just get back to being where I was because I'm not where I was.
Right.
My stamina's not there. My something about playing with 2 hands and one goes out for 9 months and then getting back into it. So just being able to get those together hasn't happened yet.
Right.
I wear out quickly.
Which did remind me of a question. In the band, you play guitar.
Yep.
Acoustic or electric, or do you switch?
All electric.
All electric.
Yeah.
So between the Telly and the Gold Top.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, I am even more sorry that I missed his first and so far only
he
show.
showed up with his daughters 2 hours into the show when we were done. It was a 2-hour show. So
I thought it started at 9. It ended at 9.
Ended at 9.
Yes.
And the most precious thing was the daughter rolling her eyes at him and saying, "Oh God, Dad, precious." I have daughters. I know what that look is like.
It's pretty tough. Where can we find Black Hill Soul? Where can we keep
will be
up
all
with
the places there will be. We're going to be out on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Okay.
And,
all right.
So yeah, and on our website, blackhillsoul.com.
blackhillsoul.com. There you go.
Listen to a couple tunes right now.
All right. Yeah. We're going to have you do a tune.
A tune?
We're done. We're pretty well done talking for now.
All right.
Okay. So remember my sponsorship with Trask Hay LLC. Large, round, and square bales. Wow. And more importantly, custom hay services. We have gotten some precipitation here in the Black Hills and in the surrounding plains. You may need hay put up next year. Call Joe Trask, 515-0858. From the pearly gates, John Denver says, change your strings. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Bellew.
From Pearly Gates, he says that. All right, so this is on the album.
Okay.
And it is the title song of the album.
Perfect.
And it is a semi-fictitious song about my wife's gambling.
Semi-fictitious.
Okay. She's crazy, out of her mind. Rolled the dice way too many times. Spent all my money, rose most my friends. I'm not sure just where this nightmare ends. She had it under control. We lived in a small town, there was nowhere to go. But then she found a new friend and they took her to Deadwood, where it all begins. Where it all begins. She's drinking down at the 10, busting hands again and again and again. Tips all the dealers, knows most the bands. And I just saw her stagger toward the ground. She had it under control. We lived in a small town, there was nowhere to go. But then she found a new friend and they took her to Deadwood, where it all begins. Where it all begins. Great keyboard solo on the album here.
Perfect.
She's doubling up, she's coloring down, she's counting the cards, man, she thinks that she can. She's betting the odds, we're losing the form, she's in so deep, man, she's gone. She's gone.
Woo! Semi-fictitious, you say.
Simple.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
guys.
coming, Scott.
Thank you.